As we continue to explore the multifaceted journey of empowerment and wellness, we are about to dive into a vital aspect of our health that often goes unnoticed, yet plays a crucial role in our overall well-being. It's my pleasure to introduce the next segment of our program, Unlocking Hormonal Wellness Through Diet, led by none other than the remarkable Suzan. She is not only a transformation expert, she's a beacon of hope and change for those seeking to revitalize their lives from the inside out. As a creator of the groundbreaking online program, Best of You, Suzan has guided over 12,000 individuals through transformational journeys, harnessing the power of holistic nutrition and fitness to unlock their fullest potential. An RHN registered holistic nutritionist and celebrated recipient of the WXN Top 100 Female Entrepreneurs Award, Suzan's dedication to wellness is matched only by her commitment to empowering others. A mother of two and a former owner of 3 transformation studios, she has carved a unique niche in the wellness industry, combining practical expertise with an unwavering passion for health. Suzan's insights have graced countless magazines, TV shows, and industry conferences, making her a sought-after voice in the realms of fitness and holistic health. From breakfast television and CTV to Inside Fitness magazine in the Globe and Mail. Her influence extends far and wide, inspiring a diverse audience ranging from celebrities and thought leaders to working professionals and stay-at-home moms. Today, Suzan brings her wealth of knowledge and experience to us, focusing on a critical intersection in diet and hormonal wellness. Prepare to be enlightened as we embark on this journey with Suzan, learning how to nourish our bodies and minds to truly flourish. Please join me in welcoming Suzan to the stage. Can we plug the event too? Just
Absolutely.
okay.
Well, I was going to do it before and after, but go ahead.
Yes.
I'm going to let you do it.
Suzan's hosting a wellness event, and you should share it. But I'm really excited for it. So
Yeah, we'll talk more about it during this one because it's going to enlighten you. And it's another female wellness event. It's going to be in Manhattan Beach, and I'll give you guys details on it towards the end. I also have a booth outside. If you haven't come by, come and see us after this talk, and we can give you more information or answer more questions because I don't know how much time we will have. So we're going to rip through this. So my name is Suzan Galluzzo. I've been a holistic nutritionist for over 12 years. Prior to COVID, I had 3 female transformation studios. I'm from Canada. And I have over 12,000 transformations. This is my life. I was put on this earth to serve women. This is my purpose. This is my passion. And I do it really well. Mother of 2, you're in good hands. Okay, so success stories. So one thing in common with all my transformations, I get it. Every woman has a different background. Some have kids, some don't. Some are in menopause, some are in perimenopause. One thing remains consistent with all my transformations, and you'll see how different each and every one is. Like Nisha, 44 years old, does not have any children, but Sonia, 42, has 3. Kyla, young mom. Carrie, 4 kids. Mary, 56, 43 years old. Celia, no kids. So it really doesn't matter. At the end of the day, we're all human. We're all female, and we all have certain body parts that we have to focus on, especially gut health. And so right now I know that I've been doing hormones for 12 years. Right now it's very trending. There's a lot of misinformation out there. And so I'm going to demystify a lot of it because it's really simple. It's really, really simple. You're just going to focus on healing your gut. That's the key thing to do. And that's what I'm going to talk about today mostly. There's 3 areas that I see come up often when it comes to metabolic challenges. So trying to lose weight, trying to get fit, aging, and hormones. And so we see this often. It's one of these 3 reasons. Unbalanced hormones, those 3 specific hormones being a big part of why women are feeling, whether it's depressed, anxious, difficulty losing weight, gaining weight, just having even things like brain fog, endocrine issues, so autoimmune diseases, leaky gut, dysbiosis, candidiasis, those things we see a lot of. They are very more often than not, and it's all, again, related to how's your overall gut health and metabolic inefficiencies, so poor eating habits, poor lifestyle choices. Am I in your way at all from the screen? No. Okay. So symptoms of hormonal changes that we should be aware of that aren't normal. They're common. They're not normal. And if your doctor is dismissing these, and FYI, because I know I always get a lot of women taking pictures of the thing. I give it to you. So give me your email. I will send the presentation. Review it as soon as you get home, and it'll just trigger a lot of the things that I speak about. Just so I want you to be really present instead of taking pictures. I'm going to give it to you. And I'm also going to give you a meal plan. So weight gain around the abdomen. So I call it the butt, the gut, the boobs. When you're experiencing weight gain around those areas, it's usually as a result of hormonal imbalances triggered by gut challenges. Changes in body composition. So this especially happens in my postmenopausal. So my ladies that are 45 years and up, I'm going to talk more about it later, but unfortunately, my 35 to 45s have different challenges than the 45 to 55s, yet we are all experiencing similar things like weight gain and fat being redistributed. So estrogen issues are going to cause fat redistribution. So all of a sudden you're like, I never had a gut before. I never have a big butt. I didn't have big boobs. That's as a result of hormonal imbalances. Slower metabolism, insulin resistance. So difficulty losing weight you should be able to eat healthy and lose weight. But for a lot of women, it's very challenging. And as we age, we have to recognize that it's not simply just plug in a calorie deficit diet and it's going to work. It's more than that. It's about healing first. Mood swings, irritability, and anxiety. This one really upsets me because a lot of women are being misdiagnosed as having depression and anxiety. It's one of the most common prescriptions to give is depression and anxiety pills is the most popular amongst women. And usually, in my experience, after coaching 12,000 women, I know that's not the case. It's hormonal imbalances, and it's as a result of just changing some of your lifestyle choices, which are a big mystery, right? Because we're all trying to figure it out. And then the other ones, hot flashes, night sweats, irregular periods. So recognize these, know that they are symptoms of hormonal changes that are happening within your body. And we're going to figure out, well, how do we solve this then? How do we reverse this? Because it's going to cause a lot of damage in the end. So what is estrogen? Estrogen keeps you feeling good. And that's what younger ladies can kind of handle stress better than my older ladies. And, around 35 years of age, who here, you don't have to share your age, but if you want to, who's 35 to 45? Show of hands. Nice. I bet I'm going to get a 50-50 split. Who's 45 to up to 50, 60? Nice. I love it. This is who we're talking about. Anybody I didn't include? Anybody less than 35? Less than 35 over there. The youngest girl in the room. Don't worry, we're still going to talk about you. You have problems too. She is not safe. So,
yes, we are.
we're all safe. Yes, we are. Yes, absolutely. I didn't mean for it to come out that way. So estrogen. So estrogen starts to fluctuate. It's fluctuating our entire life. So around puberty, it's up and down. And then we see this happen again around 35, all the way up to 45. Estrogen is fluctuating. And with that can come some challenges. And so when estrogen is too high, that's usually within my 35 to 45-year-old ladies. We call this perimenopause. Your body is preparing to go into menopause. And what can happen? Why is this important? Well, if you're not doing a great job with your diet, and what I mean by that, there is a requirement for eating a certain amount of fiber, for example. As women, we should be, if you take anything from my presentation, take this 45 to 50 grams of fiber per day for everybody. Okay? Should come from leafy greens, cruciferous vegetables, green. So that alone is going to heal any inefficiencies in the gut. So as we age, estrogen is hovering for my 35 to 45. And if there's too much estrogen in your body, it's going to get thrown into fat stores. Okay. And that's where the challenges begin is you're trying to balance the estrogen and progesterone, but they're growing further and further apart. And then that's when you notice, why am I moody? I'm having mood swings. And if you let this go into past 45 and you go into the menopause, you're going to have even more issues, unfortunately. So some things that affect estrogen dominance, stress. Stress is a huge one. We see ladies' stress levels decrease significantly when we're forcing them to go on nature walks. We're forcing them to get sleep. We're forcing them to do things that they, we all deserve, but they have naturally just taken a back seat, like nature walks, like taking breaks, like spending time with your friends. Decreasing stress is very important. Poor diet. This is a big one. We're going to talk about it a lot later on. Environmental toxins. So a big one that Cassandra is an expert in is clean beauty. What are you putting, what's coming in from the outside as well, from the environment? What are we putting on our skin? That's going to disrupt hormones as well. So for example, BPAs is going to disrupt estrogen, and it's going to lead even more challenges. So not only is your body fluctuating estrogen's going up. If you're going to put crappy products in your body, guess what? More estrogen. Your body doesn't realize that this is called a xenoestrogen. It's false. And so more and more toxins in your body, more and more fluctuations. Lack of exercise and hormonal imbalances, medications. Medications are a big one as well. We'll talk about it later. So my ladies, 45 to 65. So what happens, like I said, in estrogen dominance, estrogen is going up. Well, the opposite happens when you hit around 45, 46, and estrogen starts to plummet, and it's called an estrogen deficit. And now we don't have enough estrogen. So now we're more moody, we're short-tempered, and the fat redistribution really starts to show. Fat is leaving areas and all of a sudden going into the areas we don't want it, the butt, the gut, the boobs. This can also happen with estrogen dominance. So in my estrogen decline phase, I'm going to see those kinds of symptoms. And more importantly, estrogen, when estrogen decreases, estrogen provides a nice layer in the gut, and it protects us from toxins entering the body. So now we've removed that estrogen from the gut, and now things like dairy, gluten, sugar, alcohol that maybe didn't affect you in your 20s and 30s are now, you're getting bloated right away from a meal. You're like, I can't figure it out. I'm eating chicken and vegetables. Why am I bloated? Well, it's a lack of estrogen, which is causing wear and tear on the gut lining now from everyday foods, everyday toxins, creating holes in our gut. And now that's going to create even more issues, is now we're introducing inflammation to the body. We never want inflammation, right? And that's why it's really important that and we'll talk about it later, how do we heal these holes? It's called leaky gut. A lot of women have it. We don't know about it. So chemicals, as I mentioned earlier, harmful effects of makeup and hormones, as well as chemicals that are coming from BPAs, estrogen disruptors, so canned foods, plastics, pesticides, linked to early puberty, infertility, and miscarriages, obesity, diabetes, increasing cancer, male infertility. I get a lot of younger ladies that are trying to start families. And one of the things I tell them first is, what's your husband eating? Is he eating from a can? Is he eating from plastic? Where are you eating from? Are you eating from plastics? What kind of makeup are you using? What kind of creams are you using on your body? Those are going to disrupt hormones. And for somebody who's trying to start a family, you need everything in your power to make it the most easiest possible process, right? We know I had difficulty getting pregnant myself, so I know how frustrating that can be. So things that are affected by chemicals: thyroid, adipose tissue is fat, liver, heart, female reproductive, and male reproductive. So get the chemicals out. Harmful effects of makeup and hormones. I'm sure this was discussed in different panels as well. But what you want to look out for is the parabens, the phthalates, the BPAs, and the formaldehydes. Those are the 4 things that you want to flip on the back and read that ingredient label and see that. Listen, I'm just as guilty as the next girl. I love makeup. But I try as much as possible, like, the 70-30. I'm not using, the really chemically stuff every day. I'm trying to do some clean beauty stuff instead. Meat. Okay, so where are you buying your meat? Unfortunately, it's not the meat itself, it's what's being done to the meat. And conventional meat is going to disrupt hormones. So eating steak, unfortunately, in a restaurant, they're going to use conventional meat 90% of the time. That cow, unfortunately, has injections of hormones, antibiotics when they get sick, and they're not grass-fed and finished. That's for sure. So that's something that you want to be aware of and it's going to cause a lot of hormonal imbalances. I see this especially in males that are big steak eaters, right? They like their meat and potatoes. And so be mindful. I always say eat your meat at home. Get yourself a nice piece of steak, organic, grass-fed and finished. And for my ladies on my programs, they don't do any red meat because it's such an estrogen disruptor for the entire duration of the program. And then we reintroduce it. And me personally, I advise them to only have it once per month from a good source. Okay. So just a little nugget of information. Eating meat from conventional sources, toxins go into your liver. Your liver doesn't know what to do with all those toxins. So what it does is it sends it to your bloodstream. Not only are we going to create inflammation, but estrogen is going to continue to climb. Dairy. I'm dairy-free. My members are advised to be dairy-free. And again, it's not the dairy itself. It's what's being done to the dairy. It's the hormones and antibiotics. The poor state at which these cows are held, unfortunately. If you went to a dairy farm, you'd see that there's a lot of blood and pus in the milk, and then they bleach it out. I know. But dairy, for those of you who have kids, dairy causes a lot of mucus and allergies in our system. And so for athletic kids, highly unadvisable. A lot of major athletes, big athletes, the Tom Brady's, the LeBron James, they're all dairy free. They got the memo. Dairy, it's just, they've done so much to it, and it sucks, unfortunately, because I used to love dairy. Gluten. So 80% of the population does have a gluten intolerance. Has anybody here done an allergy test? Highly recommend it. When I did mine, I do them every so often, periodically, because different stuff will come out at different ages. So every 4 to 5 years, I'll do one. And for me, gluten was highly intolerant. I'm not allergic to it, but highly intolerant. And I notice I get severely inflamed. But looking at the stat, 80% of the population lacks the enzymes to digest it. Try to take it out. It's unfortunately, gluten does contribute to diabetes, thyroid, autism, and 52 other diseases are linked to gluten. Even the slight intolerance will lead to weight loss efforts hitting a wall every time. We've seen it. Unfortunately, we're completely gluten-free in all my programs, and we see just such a significant difference in how women lose weight and get fit really fast and transition their body composition completely, especially with the removal of gluten is probably the number one. And gluten makes you hungry. You'll overeat. Alcohol. So I'm not one of those coaches that says, yes, you can drink once a week and still get healthy and lose weight. The statistics are real. There is no healthy amount of alcohol for women, period. Okay, that's the statistic. I'm not saying that's a good one, or I know it's unfortunate, right? However, if you are in a position where you're trying to balance hormones, lose weight, alcohol will stop you in in its tracks. It takes 2 to 3 days after having a drink for the alcohol to leave your body. So your body will stop. You can work out, you can starve yourself, you can eat so healthy. Your body has one job, because alcohol is a macronutrient. So there's protein, carbs, fats, alcohol. And your body is going to burn alcohol when alcohol's in it. Then it's going to go back to burning protein, carbs, fats. Okay? So you will always derail your efforts when trying to seek hormonal balance or weight loss when there's alcohol. Okay, sleep. So this is a nice stat that I like to share. So only getting 4 hours of sleep a night for 3 weeks will result in a 9% increase in abdominal fat. So ladies, it's sometimes, I always say this, it's not the diet, it's not the exercise, it's everything around it. It's your lifestyle, it's what are you putting in your body, it's how much sleep are you getting a night. Those things matter more than just, oh, like, is there a workout that I can do that's going to just really nail it? No, it's lifestyle. So leaky gut, I was speaking about it before. Anybody with autoimmune diseases has to be very aware of gut challenges. And so, as I was saying, so dairy, gluten, sugar, alcohol is going to wear and tear at the gut lining. So we could once tolerate these foods in our 20s and 30s pretty well. For some women, it was challenging in their 20s and 30s. But as time goes on, that estrogen is fluctuating, decreasing, and it's the dairy, the gluten, the sugar, the alcohol is wear and tearing at the gut. This creates holes. Those holes will now let out toxins from foods, from creams, and it's going to let it out into the bloodstream, cause inflammation, make it difficult to balance hormones. It's going to actually wreak havoc on your hormones, anybody with leaky gut. This can be healed within 3 to 4 weeks. You'll learn how at 2:30 if you're coming back. What foods? Gut and autoimmune disorders. So the gut, again, plays a crucial role in regulating immune system. If you have an autoimmune disorder, it's really important that those foods are completely, or if not, mostly eliminated. Another one we see often, so candidiasis, super hidden, found on a blood test or symptoms. And a lot of women mistaken symptoms like depression, anxiety with that. And really, it's actually candidiasis, right, Dr. Chantal? I know you know that one. Other symptoms. So candidiasis, what is it? It's yeast. And that's actually, when I was in my 20s, I kept getting breakouts on my forehead, these tiny pimples, and I couldn't figure out why. And my diet was terrible. Like, it consisted of Nutri-Grains, rice, and salad. Like, it was, that's how old I am. There was Nutri-Grains. And drinking on the weekends, and I had a lot of yeast, and I would go and get prescriptions, and these prescriptions that are powerful enough to take out a yeast infection from an elephant. But so I kept doing it and doing it over and over again for it to only come back. And then that's when I kind of stumbled. I finally went to a naturopath when I was 20 years old. And that opened up my world of, she put me on a candida cleanse. And if anybody's done it, it's pretty intense. Like, you're eating blueberries. There's no coffee. There's no vinegar. Blueberries, chicken. But it taught me the power of food. And that's when I realized, no more not that I don't go to the doctor. I love doctors, but I can heal myself for the most part, for most things, not everything. But in terms of things like hormonal imbalances, candidiasis is one of the bigger ones that we see a lot of. And again, you can eliminate it in 2 to 3 weeks with just having the right foods. And again, it's getting rid of dairy, gluten, sugar, alcohol for a temporary, and then you reintroduce it like 80-20. cortisol we talked about a little bit, but cortisol is another one that you can find out on a blood test. But if you have these symptoms, chances are you could be cortisol high, and it's a hormone that's going to affect a lot of things, like hormonal balance, the other hormones being unbalanced. And, you know, things on there are well within our control. Lifestyle, daily walks. Force yourself to get out for that daily walk every day. Okay, so chemicals we need to be aware of. I just want to see how much time do I have? 4 minutes. Okay, so I'm going to summarize this. I'm going to try to. Okay, this is an important slide, and I want you to know it. So the previous slide was about high fructose corn syrup. High fructose corn syrup is in every type of processed food, unfortunately. Every kid's food, it's out there in anything boxed. And what high fructose corn syrup does is two things. It decreases satiety, increases shelf life of the product. So you know how cereals last forever now, right? You look in a box and it does not go bad. And it makes you highly addictive to that product. And so when we eat 500 calories of anything with high fructose corn syrup, so think of your frozen pizzas, think of anything from a box. 500 calories of Oreos is going to fill up your belly 10%. What are you going to do with the other 90%? Ignore it? No. You're going to go look for something else, right? Oil, anything fried, is going to fill up your belly 25%. There's receptors on your belly that go off to your brain and tell your brain it's full. And it doesn't happen until it hits that point. So 500 calories of broccoli, guess what? All the receptors go off in your tummy, tell you you're full. So that's why the fiber rule is so important. 50 grams of fiber per day is going to make sure you get those greens in. It's going to fill up your belly to the top, send off those receptors that you're full, heal your gut imbalances, balance your estrogen, balance progesterone, decrease cortisol. It's going to do it all. So, thermic effective food, basically of fat burning properties. This is my product that we're actually sampling out there. I have been using a blend of spices for over 12 years in all my programs. And then when COVID happened, I was forced to close my studios, and it gave me time to actually make this into a can and sell it. All it is spices, ladies. It's spices that our mothers used, our grandmothers used in stews and in teas. And I just made it in a very convenient, easy to use way. We use it in a fasting protocol as well. And if you look at all the ingredients, they're all either thermic, blood sugar balancing, insulin resistant, and fat burning, and hormonal balancing. And that is my rip through hormones. And I'm out of breath. Thank you. And if you're around at 2:30, I'm going to be talking about a meal plan that has to do with this presentation. If you want this presentation emailed to you, you know what I'll do? I'll just put a Google Doc here. Here is where you can find me on my websites and stuff. And I will send this to you in an email if you would like it. Let's do it on here. No, I'm going to do it in notes because I don't think I'm connected to the internet. There you go. And I'll answer questions. And then if you want, just sneak up here. And anybody have any questions before I go?
Thanks. Hi. I was wondering if your body index has anything to do with your hormone imbalance. Like, what is the best body to be in for proper hormone balance?
It does, yeah. It does have to do with it when it comes to if a person is carrying too much fat on their body. But so yeah, it will affect hormones for sure with having a BMI. I do know. I don't know. Like, I think it's going to be based on, it's a calculation, right? And it's based on your age, your weight, and like there's the whole calculation. But I don't know the right one. For sure, absolutely, yeah. I mean, I could get into it a lot, but it's like that's a whole other. Mitochondria is like a whole presentation I have. But yeah, but we can chat about it. What?
to feed your mitochondria every day to balance your hormones?
I don't think every day, no, but I don't know enough about it to like give you a proper answer.
How do you test for estrogen dominance?
Blood test, yeah. Blood test, you can have a blood test, or for us, a lot of it's symptom related. And if I see a woman, I can usually tell in how she's carrying her weight and her age. So that gives, I don't do blood tests or anything for that. We just base it on symptoms.